Good morning. We are at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and yeah, just coming to see our one of the brothers going back to Yangon today. Um, so yeah, kind of what I want to do now is partly based on chapter 10. In verse 4, it states of the sheep that hears the voice of Jesus and they follow him, right? And so I'm going to understandably do more teaching on this and other spots. I just wanted to as well do some teaching here, some recording here because of this view, but especially as well the topic of hearing the voice of God and then following the voice of God, right? When I was young, I wanted to do the will of God, and I still want to do the will of God. I used to read all kinds of books on by missionaries or other Christians, how how they would write about difficulties in life, or not difficult. And they never wrote about difficulties in their life. They would write about all the miracles, and so they were like, hear God speak to them, go to this house and bring that to someone, and then they come there and it's like people pray their whole life, or not their whole life but long time for it, and then yes, sure, things like this do happen, it can happen, I'm not saying not, but my idea then that formed in my head is that that's how it works for all Christians, right? If you're truly a Christian, then you will always have this voice telling you exactly go to the left or go to the right. And then, yes, sure, there are books about it, and so many Christians want to know the will of God so that they can follow the will of God, right? On which airplane you're going to get here, where is this airplane going to take you ultimately, right? That kind of idea. Do you get in a Batik airline here, or a Singapore Malay air over there, or other airplanes over there? Which one do you take? Where are you going to go? What is where will life take you, right? You might get, like the other day, people getting off on the aeroplane, and well, the one in India, and then it crashed and they didn't go anywhere, except either hell or heaven. And then the other, when this war in Iraq and the bombing of there in Qatar started, of the American base, in Qatar airspace had to be closed, and people were going in one direction to Qatar, and then from there to England or wherever, and in the next moment they had to all divert to go back to Singapore or other places. So life, or at least we kind of hope that this is how God works, right? Like whatever I do, I will exactly always know. Okay, I will know I'm supposed to go to the right. I know I'm supposed to go to the left. So I remember when I was a student, I was really, like I mentioned earlier, worried about doing the right thing, doing the will of God. I wanted to be like these people. I wanted to like, yeah, man, if I have these special meetings. And so I started coming up. I didn't hear any voices, and I started coming up with this. Okay, so I would push on the piece of paper, or throw a piece of paper or dice or something like that. Now God will speak through this, and then I'll know God's will. And I don't want to go into all the details, but it was stupid. But my heart was in the right place, but it was stupid. And lots of young people are like that. They see like a verse like this here in John chapter 10 about hearing the voice of Jesus and following him. They see in that, and people writing books about the will of God. They write books about this and use this verse to explain that you can actually kind of follow this, because Jesus say you will follow his voice, so you need to exactly follow where he's saying, where he tells you to go. That's a little bit, yeah. And so young people, lots of young people, I spoke with one on Sunday as well, they get so afraid of knowing what's the will of God. Maybe they're going to marry the wrong person, they're going to move to the wrong town, they're going to do the wrong job, there's so many things that they might do wrong. And I remember when at school after my conversion, I wanted to go and be a missionary. And my teacher told me, no, go and study. And I went and I studied science, and I didn't know why. It felt to me as a waste of time. But I did, and actually it helped me a lot in the end. It helps me a lot in what I'm doing now, and where I got up, and the people I met. All of that played into that. God knew what He was doing. I didn't understand it. And so when we look at this chapter in more detail, and these verses in more detail, I will speak about the true meaning of what it means to follow. Right? Earlier in John, Jesus said, what is the will of the Father? He said, you believe in me. Okay? That is the will of the Father. It's not a horoscope where you go and read every day the horoscope to try and understand what you're supposed to do for God today. Right? You look at the stars, you listen to people, all those kinds of things. If you believe in Jesus, then walk. In some sense, that's that easy. Right? If you believe in Jesus, you hear His voice, you follow Him. It's not about going to the right or the left. Do I turn out to the right here? Like coming here to the airport, we followed Google. The Google man, they wanted to bring us on. I think it's on this road maybe, where only the airport buses can go. Like they had a Google had drove around the whole airport to the other side. We nearly missed a flight because it took us totally the wrong way, right? That's not how it ultimately is going to work with God. Yes, God can you, but the thing is, you don't need to fear. You can trust God. If God wants you in a place, He will get you there. That's so simple, so easy. So stop worrying. The most important thing to do when it gets to the will of God, believe in the one He sent, in Jesus. That is the most important thing. The rest, don't worry. He'll get you home. He'll get you to where He wants you to go. There might be detours, but He'll get you.